Okay, so welcome everyone. So today we are going to discuss a very basic topic, that is nutrition for children. So this is one of the very important foundations also, because this is going to be a factor which will be affecting the kids' life lifelong. So health is the priority that we all know. Okay? So building strong bodies and smart brains. And childhood is the only phase where the foundational development starts happening. So, children nutrition is just not about preventing the hunger or only providing with the food to the kid or adolescent, but it's more about building the strong body, a sharp brain, and a stable emotions. Okay. So in this session, we are going to simplify the children's nutrition so that you can understand it without any confusion. Okay. So चिल्ड्रन आर नॉट स्मॉल एडल्ट्स ठीक है वो एडल्ट्स की तरह नहीं होते सो देयर न्यूट्रिशनल नीड्स आर डिफरेंट बिकॉज देयर बॉडीज आर ग्रोइंग वेरी रैपिडली so when I say so, that means during childhood only the bones are formed, the brain connections are developing. Okay, the hormones are preparing for puberty. So many things are going on, and each and every stage, right? So, if the nutrition is poor during these years, it can affect the growth, the learning ability, or the capability, or the immunity of a person later on. Okay? So why this first 18 years are the foundational years? Because during this time, as I said, जो brain है वो बहुत quickly develop हो रहा होता है, ठीक है? और 60% जो development के लिए चाहिए वो usually वो fats होते हैं, ठीक है? Along with the energy and protein, वो base है उसका, ठीक है? So bones grow stronger and longer during this phase. Okay, and slowly over a period of like 5 years, their immunity also starts building. So they start their body's immune system start building into a strong system. Usually आपने देखा होगा कि जब जैसे जैसे बच्चा बड़ा होता जाता है वैसे वैसे उसका इम्यूनिटी जो पावर है वो बढ़ता जाता है, तो उस लिहाज से उसका जैसे हम बोलते हैं कि kids are very very vulnerable to the infection or something, but later on they start developing their immunity. So that's why so many vaccinations and so many protocols are there. Also, it is a phase where your emotional regulation develops. Okay, not even the physical, not even the mental, the hormonal, the immune, but also also the emotional regulation develops. Okay, so you can relate it with this, that you've seen some kids, they are like literally very very fussy, or they are like ADHD personality, very very attention seeker types. So it all depends that how fulfilling your nutritional needs are as per the age. Okay, so uh, uh, anemia is very very common deficiency, ठीक है, especially in Indian scenario. So अभी के scenario में if the diet is high in carbs and low in protein and also low in fat, तो कहीं ना कहीं and the micronutrients, तो कहीं ना कहीं they will feel tired, they will struggle with the concentration power also in the schools, and then they will start making kind of कि होमवर्क नहीं हो पा रहा है, या दे विल फ्रीक्वेंटली कंप्लेन ऑफ हेडेक और पुअर कंसंट्रेशन. So these all things denote somewhere down the line, apart from a healthy habit, their nutrition is not manageable, not taken care the way it has to be taken care. So what are the common problems with the kids? So जब हम बात करते हैं बच्चों की, तो first and foremost thing is that some kids are very very picky eaters. ठीक है, parents usually complain कि हमारा बच्चा तो बहुत choosy है या ऐसा है, but then that's why this this is a kind of education along with the other education perspectives, कि जब भी the family is sitting for food and everything, from the baby, when he or she starts sitting, you should offer a plate and you should give the food on time and let them play with food in the starting also. ठीक है, कितनी बार ऐसा होता है कि पेरेंट्स क्या करते हैं कि because of the kids will make mess, so they usually during the first 2 or 3 years the parents feed their babies or kids, but they don't allow them to do because every time they think that it will create a mess. But it is very very important to develop the habit slowly. Whatever, if the child has like fed earlier also, but when the family is sitting for eating, so you should give a little bite or something to the baby also, so that uh, that time principle starts going in the brain part. So one thing is the picky eating. Okay. Second thing is, so that how do you deal with this picky eating? By adding more variety, by providing more variety. No matter, the child can refuse the food for 50 times, but you should not give up trying. Okay. So slowly and steadily, because they do not have a taste initially. No, not for a sugar, not for a salt. So that is how usually they take only comfort foods. ठीक है, अगर आप देखोगे मिल्क हो गया या बनाना हो गया या पटेटो हो गया या कोई कोई हल्की सी दाल वगैरह कुछ भी हो गया, so they all are like sweet in nature. ठीक है, उनका स्वाद एक जैसा ही है. So definitely the more variety and more time duration you take care of kids this thing, it will going to improve. Second thing is junk food dependency. Okay, so for this you need to make a diary or a note somewhere that how many things are in packed form in your home. Okay, and how many times the kid or the child is eating junk or a packaged food. Okay, so that should not be more than like once in 10 days or something. And do not offer these things when they are small, because there's so much kind of a peer pressure keh lo, yeah. When they see, obviously they demand more. Third thing is low immunity. Immunity, as I said, over a period of like 5 to 8 years, kids' immunity develops. ठीक है, so उस बीच में you should be conscious that if the person has flu in your home, or if somebody is not like well, so at that time you should avoid coming contact with the kid or a baby directly. Fourth is a constipation. ठीक है, so constipation में basically there are lot many things. ठीक है, maybe the water content was less, maybe the child was not fed enough. ठीक है, or maybe there can be a lack of fiber or a roughage in the diet that can lead to constipation, or maybe there is no or very little fat in the diet. That also affects the movement of the bowel. Fifth is the obesity. Okay, so if you see a practical diet, especially in an Indian scenario, the diet is majorly rich in carbohydrates, low in fats, and low in good proteins. And more than half of the population is a vegetarian. I'm not saying that that's the only reason, but again, it matters a lot when it comes to, because it seizes some of the options. And if the gut is not very good at absorbing, okay, or there are other challenges like the timings and all the things, then also it can create a problem. But obesity में usually हम ये देखते हैं कि जो स्पेशली जो teens हैं, they are more into having sugary drinks, juices, and ice creams, and cakes, and all of those things. Also, this is a very normal habit to reward your kid with a food. So that should not be done by the parents. Then low iron and vitamin D. Okay, so obviously, if the low protein is also low, if the consumption of vegetables and fruits is also low, कहीं ना कहीं the beta carotene will compromise. ठीक है, and if you are replacing all the time all the meals with carbs like sabzi roti, dal roti, so कहीं ना कहीं iron will get deficit. So you should give a good amount of protein, a good amount of vitamin C in the diet. Along with that, for vitamin D, some or the other physical activity should be incorporated in kids' daily regime, so that uh, they should get a good amount of sunlight. That is one. Another thing is you can give foods like some amount of vitamin D goes from the dairy also. So curd, milk, all these things can be used. Okay? Giving these gummies and all which are available in the market is not a very good idea. Early puberty, yes, we are seeing in nowadays time, like kids start having their growth period. Like in girls, it is like earlier it was like around 11 to 13 years, and in boys it is like 13 to 15 years. But now it has, with the all ultra modernization and processed food available and lack of activity, early puberty is a challenge which is coming as a boom. Then attention issues. At times, the kids can throw random this thing also, just to get the attention of the parents or the teacher. They create issues, or they have issue behaviors. But usually that is also, as I mentioned the last week also, that anger is equals to hunger. So usually that hunger cramp is associated with anger. So make sure your kid should be in a nice pet state. Okay. So what are the five pillars of nutrients for kids? So the basic thing is protein. Okay, because protein is the building block for the tissues, for everything, and for making all the secretions inside the body, as the hormones are also protein in nature. Even your hair, your skin. So everything, it has a base with the protein. So it is very, very essential to give complete protein. So when we say complete protein, that means it should give all the essential amino acids in one go. So in that category, milk can come, egg can come. Even in a balanced macro micronutrient approach, banana can also be taken. Healthy fats. So do not use this refined version of oils, especially for kids, because fat is very, very essential to support the brain development, especially in the early years of the growth. So it's very, very essential to use a good fat like desi ghee, or a butter, homemade butter can be used. Uh, other oils can be, if your like kid is not allergic to, so you can slowly introduce as the age grows. Then a complex carbohydrate. So rather than providing like simple sugars or sugary drinks and everything, try to incorporate complex carbohydrates like wheat, even malted forms also can be used. I was surprised to see a video where the mother was saying that the her daughter is one meal in every day, like they use ragi. So it is in a form of a porridge. So that's a good thing, as you are creating a good, a kind of a environment for the baby or for the kid, that you are introducing one or the other cereals apart from the basic cereals like wheat and rice and other things. So then is micronutrients. So micronutrients basically help absorbing the macronutrients, the protein, the fat, the carbohydrates. Also, they support the immunity and the metabolism. Okay, they help in breaking down the food into simple substances which can be available for the body and body can utilize it in better way. Okay. Last is water. So water supports hydration also, water supports digestion also, and water supports circulation also. Okay. So if any of the pillar is weak, the child's growth may suffer. So you have to be very, very sure about all the pillars of nutrition to meet the nutritional needs of the baby or a kid. Protein we see as a growth builder. So protein is one of the most essential nutrients for kids. Okay? As I said, it supports the muscle growth, it supports the tissue repair, it betters the immune function or the hormone production. ठीक है, so good sources हमको सबको पता है, दाल, चना, राजमा, पनीर, बट डोंट बी इनटू कि एक दिन दाल बन रहा है, एक दिन पनीर बन रहा है, एक दिन राजमा बन रहा है. Surely rotate all the proteins throughout your days and weeks so to get all the nutrients or all the essential amino acids which are present, like dal and uh, चावल या रोटी का combination are basically complementing proteins. So if you combine them together, that's good. कई लोगों का I have seen this thing कि खाना नहीं खा रहा है, ओके ठीक है, खाना लाइक चीनी वाली रोटी बना दो या गुड़ वाली रोटी बना दो and then just roll it and give it to a kid. Make sure that even if your kid doesn't like more like dals and everything, so you should incorporate some amount of flour in the dough itself so that it can complement. Another thing like wheat को proportionate करने के लिए you can use ragi or besan or something like that. So to enhance the nutritional value of the dough which you are using. Also, you can knead the dough in like uh, uh, palak ka puree or something like that. So, and even you can make it like colorful, attractive. If the kid is like less than 5 or 6 years, so they relish colors. They usually appreciate that color therapy goes well with the kids. So include paneer curd like weekly or for like every second day alternatively you can use. If you are a non-vegetarian, yes, eggs can be used. Fish should be introduced a little later in the lifespan. Chicken, if it is like homemade, yes, it can be used. Otherwise, nuts and seeds can be incorporated in the form of um bars and all those things. So if your kid has a taste, you can make all the interesting recipes with all these nutrients or all these ingredients. So many children, they mostly like the bread or the noodles also, which can lead to a protein deficiency. So it's better like if you are taking a poha or you are taking something which is a carb rich, try to add a protein thing into it. Maybe a dal, maybe a sprout, maybe a curd, a helping of curd with it, so that it should become balance. Every day giving aloo ka parantha will not going to help with the nutritional status of the kids. Second is the healthy fats. So as I said, the brain is about 60% fat. So healthy fats are essential for brain development. Okay? So good sources are like ghee you can use, nuts you can use, seeds you can use. Coconut is very, very good, having its MCT property, like medium chain triglyceride property. So uh, giving using coconut or even coconut burfi or something like that, that can also be tried, or even a homemade peanut butter try and avoid these spreads which are available in the market, especially these mayos and all those things. Try to make replicas of these things at your home and keep a small batch like for a week or so, and every week you can make it. So, और also you should not fear using fat. ठीक है, बहुत सारे लोगों को लगता है नहीं नहीं मोटा हो जाएंगे, बहुत ज्यादा तेल ही नहीं देना है या ऐसा वैसा. और if the baby or a kid is already overweight, then also they try and like they are not very comfortable giving. अभी last to last week I had a female girl, 9 years girl, in my OPD. Obviously, the growth spurt is like early, so she was already 143 centimeters, like 10 centimeters more than what the usual kids are like. Oh, at the age of 9 years, the height should be like 135, 133 centimeters. So, but the mother was worried that she is rapidly gaining weight over the stomach area and the lower abdomen area. So kindly correct the diet. But then during counseling, she only realized that though she was doing a workout for 2.5 hours, like she was a player, she was having this badminton classes, but then what she was feeding was like a glass of juice before going to the track, and after coming, immediately a shake or a smoothie along with some ice cream and some stuff like that. So you have to be very, very careful while making the diet plan for the kids, that it should not be all sugary, sugary every time, because uh, if the workout, or because obviously बच्चे हैं वो करेंगे वर्कआउट करेंगे, वो बहुत ज़्यादा इवन खेलते हैं, ठीक है, तो anything less than 60 minutes you can just hydrate the person or the kid. There is no need to add anything else. ठीक है, तो कहने का मतलब ये है कि ये जरूरी नहीं है कि वो एक्टिविटी कर रहा है तो आप उसको बस खिलाए जाओ, you know. Okay, so carbohydrates, the energy source. Obviously, we all know that this is not the actually only energy source, but हमको ऐसा लगता है कि because there is something called gluconeogenesis also. So fat से भी energy बनाती है body, protein से भी energy बनाती है body, but we want that fat and protein to work as they have other duties also. So the carbs should give us good amount of energy. ठीक है, लेकिन the carbs should be always wholesome and whole in nature. So millets use कर सकते हैं, rice use कर सकते हैं. There, I don't know why this fear of using rice, like rice will make you fat and all this and that. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. So rice is okay, it's comfortable enough. छोटे छोटे बच्चे I have seen 9, 10 years, they are, the parents are making a dilemma and telling them to use brown rice or black rice. There's nothing like it. A single polished rice is good enough. As far as the vitamin B is concerned, so there are other sources also which can get the vitamin B. It's not only the rice which is going to give. So the whole wheat, yes, should be used. Oats, yes, if your kid is not getting constipated with it or not getting bloated with it, you can use. Fruits, vegetables, yes, you can use. Then avoid refined things. So any refined flour like maida or suji, or don't give too much. Even these simple ready-made mixes which are available, so they are packed with a lot of preservatives. There's mac and cheese and instant noodles and all these things, so they are like, they will fill the stomach because babies have small stomachs. ठीक है, तो उनका पेट जल्दी भर जाता है. That's why they just give up कि नहीं अभी हो गया है. So whatever you're feeding should feed sensibly, and avoid giving packed snacks, especially when you are out. So if the child is demanding कि ठीक है चिप्स ले दो, पेस्ट्री ले दो, ये ले दो, so पेरेंट्स आर ऑल्सो लाइक दैट कि चलो ठीक है, एटलीस्ट टिक के बैठ जाएगा थोड़ी देर के लिए, बट दिस अप्रोच इज वेरी वेरी बैड बिकॉज देन दे आर every day if you see, so one meal is usually a refined version, and that is the problem which will lead them into obesity and overweight later, in the later life stages. So try to restrict the sugary drinks, make the replicas fresh at home, okay, and avoid packaged snacks. Okay. So then micronutrients that matter. So this is actually what matters, like iron, vitamin D, calcium, zinc, B vitamins, omega 3. So micronutrients are small nutrients with a big role. Okay, so iron say it will prevent fatigue and it will support the brain. Vitamin D will going to support the bones, and overall it will help the calcium absorption. Again, calcium will strengthen the bones and teeth, and the calcium has other roles also to play. Zinc is particularly with the immunity. So, giving B vitamins, obviously the brain function will going to improve, along with the omega 3, which will improve the focus and the mood. So, excess of packed food can create several problems apart from just creating a dental caries. First thing is the hyperactivity, then crash. Okay, many of the children you can see that they create uh, mess, or they begin to start doing something which can gather the attention. That is like hyperactivity followed by a energy crash. Okay, second thing will be it will give a weaker the immune system. Obviously gut imbalance hoga क्योंकि you are not getting the nutrients which are necessary, and then things like acidity, constipation, headache, all these things will going to come, which will lead to early insulin resistance also. So occasionally treats are fine, but daily processed food habits can harm in long term health. ओके, सो टिफिन आइडियाज क्या हो सकते हैं? इट शुड ऑलवेज बी अ बैलेंस प्लेट. ठीक है, सो द आइडियल फॉर्मूला इज प्रोटीन प्लस फाइबर प्लस हेल्दी फैट. ठीक है, तो कॉम्बिनेशन ऐसा ही कुछ बनाइए. डोंट गिव एवरी डे लाइक अ प्लेन परांठा और अ जैम और आलू का परांठा एंड दैट्स इट. सो pair it with a protein, like whatever cereal you are using, with a good fiber and a healthy fat. So paneer parantha with curd, with a little bit of fruit or something. Or if the child has like taste, so besan chilla chutney, rather than using a sauce or a dip or a mayo, his homemade chutneys can be made. Uh, Fillers also can be like with the main meal, you can portion some amount of protein with it. Egg is a good option if you are an like vegetarian or non-vegetarian. Poha with peanuts, idli sambar. So these all combinations are like healthy combination, but make a menu of like 6 days and uh, engage your child into it. Let them make a menu, and try to follow that menu, and incorporate your kids also into it. So if you will do like this, so they are also like on the track, that you like. For a live example, I also do like this with my daughter. So we make a Monday to Friday ka menu, and Friday is the only day where she is allowed to have some like junk or something, not the random, but again I pair it with something which is a healthy option. Okay, so immunity support for kids. Strong immunity is built through daily habits. Okay, so important factors which include is, first and foremost is adequate sleep, because when they are sleeping, they are rejuvenating, the body is rejuvenating itself. Second thing which is very, very important is the outdoor play. So regular outdoor play should be there like 1.5 hour activity, whether it can be a park or it can be a swing or it can be a class, but it has to be a outdoor thing rather than just everything doing indoor. Then using of seasonal fruits and vegetables will going to give more nourishment rather than giving off-season supplies. Turmeric milk, yes, occasionally is good. Then again, the adequate protein. So lifestyle plays a very big role rather than giving just supplements every day. Gut health is very important so that you should not get these constipation, and common causes are low fiber, low water, excess junk, low activity. Okay, but the solutions are only fruits or soaked raisins or prunes can be used. Vegetables can be incorporated wherever possible in a regular movement. So these all things will going to, and yes, along with a good fat. So that will going to give a nice movement to the bowel, and try to maintain that toilet timing. That is very, very important in terms of kids, especially the small kids. Emotional eating in kids, yes, this has become a matter of concern nowadays because sometimes the children eat not just because they are hungry, but because of emotions, especially in the teenagers, like which can and these can trigger. This triggers can be stress, screen timing, boredom, okay, and reward based sweets. As I said that कुछ नहीं मिला तो चलो, just give a reward, in the form of food. No, you should not give reward only in the form of food, but in the form of other things also. Healthy growth versus obesity. So the healthy child is active, has a good appetite, and has a steady height increase. Okay, whereas obesity will lead to low activity, excess sugar, हाई स्क्रीन टाइम. ठीक है, सो कहीं ना कहीं पे वो बीएमआई जो है वो बढ़ेगा, एंड ऑल थैंक्स टू दिस मीडिया एंड टीवी एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स. सो यू शुड नॉट बॉडी शेम कि वो पतला है, वो मोटा है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. ऐसे लाइनर्स, वन लाइनर्स, वन शुड refrain using these sentences, especially when it comes to kid, because uh, one thing you are comparing. Okay, second thing, because they are not in a state that they can understand the logic, so they might get offended at times. So do not do body shaming, because then it's very bad. Even if you should be ensured in school or in somewhere, if or in maybe family functions, should not compare the kids with others in terms of body shape and everything. So what can be a simple daily routine? So morning, it should be a protein breakfast, okay, before school. And then school में it should be a balanced tiffin as we discussed. Evening, one outdoor play should be there, and dinner should be light, home cooked meal, and they should sleep on time. So ideally, if the kid is going like 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. To the school, he or she should sleep by like uh, maximum 8. And if like they are a little elder, so maybe they can wind up by like 9 or 10. What can be the red flags one should notice if the kid is not getting height? If there is frequent illness, like every 4 दिन or 5 दिन के बाद you are using some medicine or some running nose or something like that. Extreme picky eating, ठीक है. Delayed puberty. If they have a delayed puberty signs, if they are like a very stunted type of body, and if they are not growing as per their age, then it can be a matter of concern. Constant fatigue. If the child complains constant fatigue, one should address it and one should get it like checked. And lastly, it's the behavior issues. So these might be because of the nutritional deficiencies also. Okay, so Key parenting advices can be model healthy eating. Obviously, they usually imitate the very next members or parents, especially at the house. So, importantly, model healthy eating. Okay, and avoid force feeding. Eat together. As I said, when a family eats together, it creates a bond also, and kids feel safe also. Limit the screen time, especially during meals, because then one, they will not be able to connect with the food, and they can have major portions while eating food during watching TV or something. एंड अवॉइड लेबलिंग गुड और बैड, ये खाना बुरा है, ये खाना अच्छा नहीं है. Don't use these terms in front of kids, especially because then whatever they will perceive, they will behave like that only. Okay, so these can be the reflection questions. Is the child getting protein daily? How many packed foods weekly? Like as I said, you can make a track or a diary so that you can track कितना junk जा रहा है actually में. ठीक है, because जरूरी नहीं है कि they are using these chips and everything, but market, if you are going to market, then कुछ भी Kinder Joy and all these fancy stuffs, even these sugar candies and all those things, करते करते it becomes like a habit that the kid is having every day something or the other. ठीक है. So how much outdoor play time is there? Is the sleep consistent? So these can be the all the questions you can just look into, which will help you to track the child's health. So, a key takeaway is that the goal of the child nutrition is very simple. It is basically balanced food, movement, sleep, emotional support, and no extreme diets and no food fears. ठीक है, तो children should not need to do any extreme diets or food fears. ठीक है, बहुत सारे जैसे अगेन आई एम गिविंग यू दिस एग्जांपल, ओपीडी में आते हैं, if the child is like overweight, so कहीं ना कहीं you are giving them this negative dilemma that something is wrong with their body or with their self, so to correct it. तो इसको देख लीजिए, ये बहुत मोटा होता जा रहा है, ये कोई एक्टिविटी नहीं करता, ये वो. So these type of things should not be discussed in front of kids. This should be remembered. And they need consistency, nourishment, and a healthy environment. This is what support they need from the family. So this was all for today. Next session, we will start with nutrition in elderly and how nutritional needs change with aging. और इसका थोड़ा सा जो deep dive material है, that I will be sending in the group, so please go through it. ठीक है, so this was all for today, and let me just stop.